Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emily and today I have a fun video to bring you, and that is introducing you to my new TBR game. So I do want to start this off by saying I got a lot of my inspiration for this from Covers with Cassidy. I will leave her linked down below. She has her, I think she's calling it TBR Snakes and Stacks, or it's like a play off of Snakes and or Chutes and Ladders, I think it is. But hers is like TBR Snakes and Ladders, and I think it was really cute, and I got so inspired by it, and the way she did it, and how it was more flexible than other TBR games, and I really appreciated that, and I thought that that would be really fun to try. And so I just wanted to say a big, huge thank you to her for having such a fun game that, you know, she made, and I just wanted to, have one of my own, but mine, as you can see, is a little different. So I do not have any snakes and ladders. I am calling this TBR Tiles because, you know, they're all kind of like little tiles. So what I did was I found a bunch of prompts. I took some from hers, who she got hers from Becca in the Books' Bookopoly boards, and I had some of my own from my own TBR cards that I had before. And I put only the ones that I thought I could make flexible to make it work if I needed a mood read or something. And so yeah, I will go over my rules first, and then I will skip to showing you the board. But start off with, we will start down here, and it'll just move, you know, kind of like that all the way up. It will not end. It'll just, once I hit here, I can just come back down here and start again. I'm not reaching for anything. Like, I don't want to say if I get to the top, I'll get a book haul or anything. That's not what I want to do. I didn't want to do it with my other game, and I don't want to do it here. So I'm going to go over the rules and stuff now. So my goal is to roll 5 times. I have 2 double-sided dice, and I will use my little owl as my playing piece. And I decided that I would take some aspects from other games. So like if I get a double, I'll add another roll. So for every double I get, I'll just add another one. I do want to say that if I do not read the books from that month going into the next one, I'll take a punishment of 1 added roll. And as a reward, if I do read all the books that I picked for my game from that month before, I will have the opportunity to not add any extra rolls. So if I get a double, I won't have to add a roll, just to kind of keep it fun and different. I really think that's all I had for it. I didn't want it to be too hard. I'm really excited to play this for the month of March, and hopefully it works out. This is my last chance I'm giving myself at a TBR game, and if this thing doesn't work, then I'm just gonna not do a TBR game, but fingers crossed that it does. So I'm going to get into showing you what each of the tiles are. So this is my TBR Tiles board. There are 72 tile spaces on here. I figured I would go over each of them and explain what some of them are. They're all pretty flexible to pick books from or for, and so yeah, let's just go through. Okay, so starting off right here, I've got my little owl player. So starting off here, we have number, and that could be, I could do like a random number generator. I could do, like a number of a shelf, pick a book from there, you know, just however I can flexibly do it or like make it fun. That's pretty much what that is. The second one is person or place. Obviously, there could be like on the cover, a person or a place, or maybe it's set around a person or a place. So, you know, they're easy prompts, but you can kind of twist them a little bit. Next we have seasonal. So for this, pick a book that's kind of set in the season that I'm currently in. So spring, summer, fall, winter. Like right now we're currently kind of in winter, getting ready to go into spring. So, you know, there could be snow, there could be like fall time, or, you know, it could even be like, for fall, it could be Halloween, or winter it could be like Christmas and Valentine's Day, and summer could be a beach thing, you know, you just kind of gotta work with what you want to read into like the things we get here. The next one is first sentence. Here I have Once Upon a Time, can't really see it that well, but maybe get a couple of books and read the first sentences and see which ones catch my attention more. So that one. The next one's pretty explanatory, pet pick. I'll just have one of my pets pick between a number of books, and whatever they pick, I will just read that. Next is the, and, of, or a. So a book that might start with one of these words. There are plenty that do, so that's an easy one. Next we have paranormal. So for this one, it can be, you know, the genre of paranormal, or maybe it has ghosts in it, or maybe it's like a horror that's sounding like it has something paranormal, but maybe it doesn't. So just, you know, like I said, flexible. Next we have one word, so like a one-word title, or maybe I could do a random word generator and find a book that matches that word. So, you know, fun. Next we go up then to LGBT plus, and that is just to read a book that has LGBT plus characters or representation in it. Next we have map, obviously a book with a map in it. Outfit. So if I land on this one, whatever I'm wearing will be what I have to base my book off of. So I wear a lot of like graphic t-shirts. So like the one I'm wearing right now for showing this has Stitch on it. So maybe I could find a book that has like an alien in it, you know, so I could really expand on it, or I could just read a book that has a red cover. Or my pants, they're black, so maybe a book with a black and red cover, or just black, you know. So it really works to fit anything. Next we have physical. I'm trying to read more of my physical books. For a while there I was just reading audiobooks and ebooks. I don't know why, but I really want to get back into reading my physical books. Next we have POC, so a book by a person of color, or maybe a character that is a person of color, you know, so pretty explanatory. The next one's also really easy, multiple POVs, a book with multiple point of views. Next I have a TBR vet spot, and this one is just to read some of my older books. I have so many older books that I've just never gotten to and that I still am interested in, and so when I land here, I'll pick out one of those. Next we have 5-star prediction. Right now I only have one more book left for my current 5-star predictions from last year, and I want to finish that one so I can put up a new one. So this pick will just come from one of those kind of videos. Next we go up here and we have school, so a book with some kind of school setting. I really enjoy books with school settings. There's romance ones with school settings, there's fantasy ones, you know, there's mystery thriller ones, there's horror ones, so it really is up to however you feel like interpreting it. Next, I have these little gems for underrated, because sometimes underrated books can be hidden gems, and this one's just a book that I own that I don't hear a lot about, but that I am still, you know, excited to read, and maybe it'll turn out to be a really good book. Who knows? Next we have sun, moon, or stars, and that's just to have a book with a cover maybe with a moon, sun, or stars on it, or maybe a book set in space, you know, because stars and the sun and moon are all in space, you know, so that one. Next, I have graphic novel, so just a graphic novel. The next one I have is secret TBR. For this one, I will just pick a book. You guys wouldn't know about it until that video came out, but yes. Next we have feed scroll. So this would be like, I'd go on Goodreads or Instagram, and I would just scroll through until I came across a book that I haven't read but that I own. Next we have series. So this would be to either start a series, finish a series, or continue on in a series. Odd. I mostly have this one there as a like odd page number, but I've seen someone say they use it maybe for an odd book, you know, something that's odd for them to read. So you could do that. So we move up to dark cover. And that's exactly what it sounds like, a book with a dark cover. You could even say maybe even under the dust jacket if you really wanted to, but I'll probably mostly just do the cover. Next we have skip. So if I land on that one, I wanted to have a few spaces that kind of gave me a little tiny bit of a break. And so for this one, I just wouldn't pick a book at all. It would just kind of be like a free space with no picks happening. Next, I know it's hard to see, but we have middle grade. And for that, I would just pick a middle grade book. Next, I have lower. So for this, I could pick a lower rated book, a book that's on one of my lower shelves, a book that's a lower priority for me. So there's that. Next, I have hype, and that's a book that gets a lot of hype. Pretty simple. Next, I have romance, a book with romance. So it could either just be a straight up romance book or a book that has like a good romance in it. Like for instance, ACOTAR. ACOTAR has a really good romance throughout the whole series, so I could go with something like that. Next, blurbs. So I could find a book that is blurbed by a favorite author. Next, we have TBR jar. I have two TBR jars. I have a physical one and a Kindle book or like ebook one. So I'll pick probably one from each and then pick the one that I'm most drawn to out of the two. Okay, going up. Going up, we have mystery. And for that, I could just read a book that has a mystery. There are fantasies that have mysteries. I could just read a mystery thriller or, you know, just different things like that. Or, you know, a mystery. It could be a mystery to me. Maybe I don't know much about it, so I'm going into it not knowing much. Next, I have nature. So a book that is like set outside or has nature on the cover. Next, we have myth, lore, legend, and fairy tale, and I really like how I did the candles here. But this one I could read a book that's like a retelling or something that has some kind of legend. So like I know in some creepy books they have like legends of creepy stories or whatever, or myth, lore, you know, there are fantasy books that play around with mythology and stuff, so any of those could work. Next, I love this drawing. I have carnival or circus. I have a number of books that are set around a carnival or circus, so I really wanted to just kind of draw this mostly, but I thought it would be fun to finally get to some of those books. Next, we have mixed reviews. Obviously, it's what it sounds like, a book that has mixed reviews. Maybe there's a ton of people that like it and as many as people that don't like it, so, you know. Next, we have new, and for this, it could just be a book that I recently acquired, or it's a book that I only just heard about, so it's new to me. Or maybe it's a book that just came out that month. Next is a pretty simple one, ebook. The next one after that is animal. I have a little cute kitty there. So maybe there's like an animal companion in the book, or maybe there's an animal on the cover. I know lots of books have like birds and stuff on the covers, so there's that. And then moving upwards, we got weapon here. So a book that has like a weapon of importance in it, or a weapon on the cover. A lot of fantasy books have weapons on the cover, and fantasy is pretty much mostly what I read. And then we move over here, family pick. Do you like my pun here? Because it's a family pick, but it's a picture of my family. Anyway, I have my mom and my two daughters, and if I land on this, one of them would just pick for me and go from there. Next, we move over to spooky, like a spooky book. Could be a horror book, or maybe there's like a haunted house or some ghosties or something, just something spooky. Next, we have adult, and that's just pretty simple, an adult book. Then we move on to big book, over 500 pages. I'm getting more into adult fantasy, and most of those are over 500 pages. Next we have space, and I tried to draw this little alien down here, but he kind of got smudged. But this one maybe just takes place in space, or maybe it's someone going to space, or there's like space-y things on the covers. Next we have diverse. I drew a little lantern here because they come from like a different culture than my own. So just a diverse book, a book that is different from me and my beliefs and my ethnicity, just something diverse. Next we have mood read. I love my little clouds on here. This one I'll just pick in the month, like I won't put it on my actual TBR. It'll just be something I pick up throughout the month to kind of give me a break, because I do mood read a lot, so it would help. Then we're going up to the little globe I have here, and it says travel. So a book that isn't set in the same country I am, or maybe a place I want to travel to, or maybe like a fantasy, so, a different place obviously than I am. Next we have standalone, so just a standalone book, one that's not part of a series. Then we move over here, and I used the replay sign, but I put reread. I definitely have many favorite books that I really want to reread. Some books I need to just reread so I can get to the last book in the series, or the next book. Next I have Trope I Love, and I definitely got this one from Covers with Cassidy, and I figured this one was a good one. I have plenty of tropes that I love, like enemies to lovers. I have, the chosen one trope, so just different things I thought was fun and unique. Next, I have my little dragon that I drew. It's so cute. I was so proud of this. But this one is for mythical creatures, so dragons. I would put vampires and stuff under this. I thought that was fun. Next, I have stunning cover, so a cover that I think is beautiful. Next, we move on to water. It could be set on the water, so like pirates, or ships. So like I'm reading the Robin Hobb Live Ship Trader books right now, so that could work for this. Or maybe has water on the cover, something like that. Maybe there's even water magic. Next we move on to The Little Crown, and it is for royalty, so a book that has royalty in it, a lot of fantasies mostly, or like American Royals by, I think, Catherine McGee. Yeah, her book is like a twist that instead of presidents, the United States had king and queen still, so that could work for that. Moving on up, we have a short book that's under 250 pages. I've been trying to read more short books this year, so this one will definitely help. So next we move on to wrapping for this one. I tried to make them look like animal stripes, but it didn't work. But representation, like I said, kind of like with diverse, just something different from my own. It could be LGBT, could be different ethnicity, a person of color, different religion, just something that represents something that is different from me. Next, we move on to element, and I have my little tornado for air, and this was kind of supposed to be a rock, but it looks like a dirt piece. And then that was for earth, and then water and fire. So maybe there's a magic that is an element magic, or maybe there's a fire on the cover, or maybe there's water on the cover. So just different things like that. Or maybe it's even like a lot of books will have like fire in the title of a book, so there's that. Next, we move over to history, and this one could just obviously be a historical book, a book not set in my time period, so it could be like futuristic, or maybe it surrounds like a historical event. I've heard people say like the Poppy War. And then we move over to a book with an even page number, pretty much. That's pretty much all this one is. Next, I am so proud of this headphone set. It looks so cute. I love the color. But this is audiobook, so I'm just going to pick any audiobook and read it for that prompt. Next, I have my little cute manga girl that I tried to draw and it kind of failed, but I think she's cute anyway. And this is to just read a manga. I'm working my way through the 7 Deadly Sins manga currently, so I would just move on to the next one. And this one, I also really think it's cute, the little skull and crossbones, and it is intimidating. So a book I find intimidating, so it could be a big book, or it could be a book from a genre that I don't read a lot. Like, I don't read a lot of contemporary anymore. I don't read a lot of historical books. I don't read hardly any nonfiction or classics, so it could be something like that. Then we're on our last row. Moving up, we have a young adult space, so young adult book. Next, we have a little shield that says battle or war, so a battle or war is prominent in the book, mostly fantasy. Next, I have another happy space, and that is treat your shelf, and that just means I can buy a book and read it that month, so maybe like a new release or something. Next, we have colors, so I could get a random color generator. I could use the color from my last book and make it my pick for that one. I could really just do anything with this one. Next, we have a light cover, so like a book maybe with a white cover, or like a light gray, or just pretty much a light cover. Next, I have this one. I did not know what to draw for this space, so I just drew something that I thought represented mixed media. So I have a couple of books that have mixed media in it, like, that counts as like podcasts or pictures or handwritten notes, articles, just like those kinds of things. I love those kinds of books. They make them more interactive and it's more enjoyable to read. And next, I have building or transportation, my little paper airplane. For this, maybe there's a building on the cover, or, like this one. It's hard to see, but I believe these are ships that are flying, so it could be sci-fi too. Or like, I know there are a lot of like clock towers, like Big Ben or something on some books, so anything like that. Last, I have higher, and that could be a higher rated book, a book that's up on one of my higher shelves, one that's a higher priority, really anything. So now that you've seen all the tiles and what they are and all the flexible things that they could go for each one, I hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun making this. I really got creative with some of these. I'm proud of it, so that's all that counts. I hope you're as excited as I am to see me play in the month of March. Let me know down below if you have a TBR game, or what are some of your favorite TBR games that you like to watch. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to. I would really greatly appreciate it. And until my next video, I will see you then. Bye!